What are the top one or two pros and cons for working from home?
They are my biggest reason that I am in business for myself. Really?
Welcome everybody to Parent with Purpose. Today we're going to be talking to Orzala, and we have quite a few things. So again, like always, if you are interested in this topic or the guest speaker, if you go to the website parentwithpurpose.ca and you actually go into the search button with Orzala's name, it will be up on the screen. Take a look there so you know how to spell it. You'll be able to search anything that she actually has done with us on our talk show today. But we do have a few topics that we're going to talk about, and the first one is about being an entrepreneur and working from home and being a parent. So welcome. It's a real honor to have you here. So you and I met on Facebook.
That's right.
So, and here we are, and we met because I was looking for help on how to actually build my audience, and you gave me some amazing. I asked you if you're a mom, and you said yes, and that you work from home. I work from home, so I know some of the struggles, but your kids are much younger than mine are. You have?
I have a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old, and they're both boys.
And they're both boys. So you are working from home, trying to do this business. You've been doing it for how long?
I've been doing my business for the last 4 years.
So what's the name of your business?
The name of my business is Make It Happen Services. I was a stay-at-home mom before that, and I was going to make it happen for myself.
That's actually a good name. That's impressive. So, and you've been doing it for 4 years. So what is it that you find is the biggest struggle being an entrepreneur and being at home and being a mom?
For me, and I think for a lot of other entrepreneurs, is time management.
It is. I agree. So how do you work with that?
I have, in terms of time management, I do have different calendars that I work with, and again, for some people it works and it doesn't. I got a Google Calendar. I have an actual physical calendar that I have, because my boys have a lot of different activities, and my evenings are basically gone with, my evenings are gone and it's theirs. And what I find with, in terms of the time management, to basically tackle it as an entrepreneur parent, is to set your priorities. And and see, what is it that you want to do in business. Like, for example, for me, for years I had struggle. I wanted to always network in Toronto downtown, and that was something. A lot of the networking events that I've looked up, they were mainly in the evenings. They started at 7:00, wouldn't finish till 9. By the time I got home, it would have been really difficult. Even if I had a babysitter for my boys, it would have been, in terms of their bedtime and the school the next day.
Right.
And it's funny, it had bothered me for years, and then finally last year I kind of made peace with that and said, you know what, that's not going to happen, and that's okay. Because I felt like it was, when we have things that we want to do and also we want to parent, we kind of sometimes resent our kids because of that. I felt like,
good point,
the fact that I couldn't network to downtown where I want to grow my business in Toronto downtown, it's because my kids are holding me back. And it wasn't not so much as in it was me. That's why I had to look back and say, well, first of all, why am I in business?
Right.
And why is it that I want to work for myself? Yes, there's other reasons in terms of why I want to do it. I sometimes feel like I'm unemployable.
Unemployable? Why would you say that?
Because as an entrepreneur, it's really hard to work for other people. Like, in the past, I have had an actual job and I've worked, but after being an entrepreneur for 4 years, and also there was a period that I was a stay-at-home mom completely, it just makes it to a point where, again, I love the freedom, and also the fact of being your own boss. So I don't know how I would take. I would like to take an order from other people, right? Or telling me what to do. So,
well, we do, because our clients are our bosses.
That's right.
We have a lot of bosses.
But we work on our own terms, where we set the boundaries with our clients, where as an employee, you can't really do that. You're working on somebody else's terms.
True. So you're suggesting that their best course of action is to sit down and actually think about what it is they're ready and willing to give up, and what they're not ready and willing to give up, and make sure that they put it in a very good balance.
That's right.
So they don't resent their kids.
No, and also you don't want to miss out, like, because they do. I mean, my kids, I look at my son, he just turned 10 last year. I'm like, oh my God, double digits, right? My older one, I start freaking out. They do grow
too fast,
and that's what happens. And here you are, like, praying for them to grow too fast, and then what happens is, like, down the road, you look back, it's like, oh my God,
you missed it.
Yes,
you missed it, and you don't want to do that. And that is part of the reason, I think, at least for me, and I'm guessing it's the same for you, that I decided I wanted to work from home is because I wanted to be here for those milestones.
That's right.
You know, I wanted to watch them walk. I wanted to, get to school with them on their first days. I wanted to be able to work my schedule and be there for those momentous moments with them. So I'm assuming that's why you did this as well?
That's one of the biggest reasons. And that's why when it comes to time management and the whole priorities, when I look at it, it's like, okay, they are my biggest reason that I am in business for myself. So if that's the case, then why is it that I want to neglect them and be like, okay, I got to do this? Where you have to set your priorities in order to look at it and say, well, that's not what I want in terms of. So for me, yes. So now I have given up not working in the evenings completely. Right. Yeah. And that's another thing. It's like you don't have to maybe completely give up. You need to find other ways. I have given up not working completely in the evenings, but yet I have found a babysitter in my neighborhood that can walk my kids to school if I want. So then I start not working in the mornings.
And there's a lot of them out there.
There's a lot of networking in the mornings.
Yes.
So it's not really also giving up completely on, for some entrepreneurs, who might be like, oh my God, on their dream. It's more about finding ways to make it work.
Right. So again, you got to figure out what the priorities are for your boys and the activities they were doing in the evening. You didn't want to miss that. But it was okay. It's okay for you. You have no problem with somebody else walking them to school, and I agree. I mean, that's something they do every day.
School. That's right. And they're walking. So this person seems to walk a lot of kids, and they're all going together. And my kids love it because they've always been driven to school. It's just
if other parents are sitting there thinking about being an entrepreneur and working from home, what are the top one or two pros and cons for working from home?
Well, the top pros, I would say, the flexible schedule.
Right.
And the freedom that you have, that you can work around your own hours.
Right.
Like for me, there's been, especially in the January, my kids were sick with the stomach flu. And there was a lot of meetings that I've canceled. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I worked for somebody else.
And so the biggest con?
Sometimes the isolation that you feel.
Yes, I agree.
You feel isolated, where you feel like, oh my God, you're in it alone as an entrepreneur. Like, for example, for me, mom. And also what I've noticed, the kind of business that I do, it's service related. And my boys would be like, so what is it that you do? You just go to these meetings and talk to people and make money, when it's hard to make them understand what is it that I do, where a lot of, for them at their age, they feel like I had to be out there doing.
Yes, you have to have a title.
That's right. I remember my son, the teacher was asking them, it was a Mother's Day thing, as in like what they think their moms did when they were at school. And my son, that she drank coffee all day and shopped. Wow, that's what he thinks.
That's amazing. It is horrible sometimes when we hear what our kids' perception is of who we are or what we do. So you basically, let's define that first of all. What is it you specifically do? So the title of your business is?
It's Make It Happen Services.
And so what is it specifically you do?
I do social media marketing. So my main specialization is social media management. Okay. What I basically do is I work with small business owners that are really busy in their business, or they don't want to manage their own social. I need to take care of their social media account. So I research the content, I create the content, and I also post it on their behalf.
Okay, let's define what networking is. And how important it is to you, so that if other people out there are thinking about becoming entrepreneurial, they'll understand the process.
Networking has been like a tremendous help for my business. I started networking just when I started the business. I just started researching some networking events online, and Facebook is really a good place to start. There's a lot of networking events that happens in Durham region. Also, it helps with the feeling of isolated, because you get to meet other entrepreneurs, just building relationships and growing your business that way. Because yes, it's like we are in an era where it's all online, and that's how you and I met, but you were referred by somebody else that I knew.
Right.
Yes.
And that is networking.
That was networking,
core. Yes. Even though it wasn't at a meeting, you probably met that person at a meeting. True. Okay.
So it's really important, the face-to-face aspect, and that human interaction is still really important.
It is, I agree. Being a social media guru, and that's really what you are. So do you feel that social media and computers and all that stuff that's going on today affects our kids?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so that's going to lead us into our next segue. We want you to come on back next week, because we're going to actually talk about how do you govern your children with social media. We hope you have an awesome day.